Juju Watkins. Juju Watkins is done for the season. Yep, that is right. We've talked before about potential with injuries. We saw her roll her ankle. We saw it in an earlier one. I talked about her playing in games, continuing to play, coming back, playing in garbage time up 30, and how that can be a risk for injury just by being in there when you might normally be on the bench. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate all your support. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Shout out to the 19. So, for those who didn't see it yet, this has been confirmed from what I've seen that it is an ACL tear, which we know how devastating they can be. And unfortunately, we don't know if there's anything else. There could be other damage to the knee, but we don't know that yet as of now. But we are talking about an ACL. So, we're looking at, everything going well, 9 months on the short end to 12 months. And then, of course, getting back to your normal self takes time as well. You can come back, you can be playing, you can be recovered, but you're not necessarily really yourself. I can speak to that with having a really bad break on my lower leg and ankle and needing a titanium plate put in. And then when I was, you know, ready to go, it was a long, long time before I had any explosiveness off that leg. Every time I would plan or jump, it felt dead. It felt like I didn't have any oomph at all to it. So hopefully it is just, I know just probably isn't the right word, but it is just an ACL tear and there's an other damage going on there, and that Juju gets the best care, gets her knee taken care of, has a great recovery, and is back to playing in the minimum amount of time. But unfortunately, a lot of these too, as you'll see here, I have a couple angles. Just a warning, if you don't want to see it, I'm about to show an angle of it. It is actually her right leg, and you'll see. So it's as is unfortunately typical with a lot of these injuries, it is non-contact. So Juju's driving to the basket here between two players, and we'll just take a look. Watch her right leg. You'll see it just right there, just gives the knee bends inward. She goes down in a lot of pain. This is a short clip. I didn't expect it to show a second time that fast. But and then we have the angle from behind. So again, if this isn't something you want to watch, but you can see how her right leg at that plant when she really goes to cut to drive in right there, it just wobbles, bends inward, knee gives out, and unfortunately an ACL tear. It really is a shame. You hate to see that with any player. I've seen that with young players as well. And like I said, more often than not, it is non-contact. Women, female athletes are more susceptible, just biology, lower center of gravity, their hips, are just a lot of factors in there that it is more likely, but we see it far too often, period. And this one is, again, another topic near and dear to me because I've actually created programs to help athletes lower the risk of injuries like ACL by proper strength training. You actually, look, you're never going to reduce the risk to zero. You're not going to simply prevent injuries, but you can absolutely lower the risk by doing the right things and having the right program, a proper strength training program. That's why I cringe so often when I see clips of teams doing routines and this and that because there are just not nearly enough good, qualified strength slash, athletic coaches out there, trainers out there for all the athletes and all the teams. So you're simply not going to get quality everywhere. And a bad program can be worse than no program at all. But proper strength training, agility training, mobility, flexibility, stability, and also the biggest one a lot of times, and it was tough to tell in here, but you can see Juju is basically getting ready to go to the basket, so she's decelerating, and that is when the majority of non-contact ACL injury tears occur, is when you're decelerating. It rarely happens when you're accelerating. It most often happens when you're decelerating. So teaching that properly, teaching athletes how to decelerate properly, giving them a good strength base. Just I don't want to get into this too much. I know it's kind of off topic, but seeing this stuff drives me nuts because we can reduce the risk. And for example, one of the best strength training exercises you can do for this has been smeared and maligned for years, and that is squatting. Now, look, squatting improperly is going to cause problems, just like doing any exercise improperly. And yes, a lot of people squat improperly, but you don't say, oh, because people get injured squatting improperly, that the squat itself is dangerous. It is not. It is crucial. Doing it correctly is a fantastic exercise for protecting the knee. Now, what is wild about so look, prayers to Juju. I really hope that she has the best recovery, that she doesn't have any setbacks, that she can get back to basketball as quickly as possible, and that she gets back to herself as quickly as possible. Because it's even when she's back playing, it's going to take a little bit of time to get back to being her. But as we've gotten better and better with technology and medical procedures and all that, more and more often the success rate of athletes getting back to themselves is getting better and better. So hopefully that is what is in store for Juju. Now, on a similar note, kind of shift direction, but on a similar note, because this is just absolutely wild. You know, all those old guard WNBA fans, the one that love the basketball and tell you how good it's been for so long, and they want it to get the respect because no one's been paying attention, and so on and so forth, and how great it actually is. Well, here's one of those wonderful people. I won't go into the history of it. She had to change her name and username for reasons, but as they say here, this woman or blank disgraceful human being is mentally disturbed in the head. Yeah. So here's what they did. They did a Twitter Spaces on this after Juju got hurt, titled "God Never Takes Caitlin's Knee." Wow. Yeah, I'm almost speechless on that. I mean, there are a lot of things I could say, but I try and keep this a family friendly channel as much as possible in terms of my language. But yeah, that is what you're getting. So this is about the same one, same person who called Caitlyn a man, right? Same person, Natalie Esquire. Remember Natalie? She was laughing with when she called Caitlyn a Mayo princess. So this is right. The day we remove these disturbing individuals from the W space is the way I'll believe the league is ready to move forward. 100%. 100%. To that point. Now, as I've said to you before, Twitter, YouTube, very, very different. Twitter is a cesspool in general. I much prefer YouTube. I am on Twitter for research and sports stuff. It is a good place to find breaking stuff if you're following the right people and so forth. But every once in a while, I can't help myself and I make a comment. But as you can see here, to that point, all the weirdo witches who've been preying on her to have injury because they worried about that record can go to hell. And as I responded, I had to respond to this because, of course, that's a shot at Caitlin Clark fans, none of which have been wishing injury on Juju Watkins for the record. And I calmly, calmly mentioned that, said, I haven't seen any Clark fans wish injury on Juju Watkins. Now, what's wild is at this point already, my comment has far more likes than the actual post. Now, I did get a comment back to my very, very nice comment there. Oh, where'd it go? I have it here somewhere. Now I just got to find it. Yes. This is to my comment I got, which that's all you do is say she gone get injured trying to chase the record. I've been muted, yo, but quality English, respect the grammar, well done, clearly educated. As all of you know, I have talked multiple times and just did a video on it about the risk of injury for Juju by staying in games late when they're up 30, right? That's how you end up getting that rolled ankle or that ACL, which was not in this case. Okay, this was not they're up 50 points with 2 minutes to go and she's in. But you have all seen, I've talked about it in multiple videos, just from her being in when she rolled the ankle the previous time. I did it in a video yesterday maybe, or the day before when she rolled her ankle again and went back in that game. Never said I wanted injury, right? This is a flat out lie. Never wished injury on Juju. Never mentioned anything about I want her to be injured for Caitlin Clark to keep the record. I warned. I warned. I said, look, you don't do this because you're risking injury. Anybody who's a Caitlin Clark fan, you don't want her in the game with 3 minutes to go and you're up 25. It's risking injury. It is absurd. It is stupid. But as you can see, the WNBA has a lot of cleaning up to do in order to move forward and actually be a successful professional basketball league because these people have lost their effing minds. Now, look, just real quick, this got a little long. USC as Kansas State. I think even without Juju, I think they win that game. Kiki had what, 36 points last game, I think. They still won by 40, having lost Juju. Now, after that, they're probably going to get UConn. I think that's a tough game even with Juju. So we'll see, because I will say this, I'll leave you with this parting thought for USC's chances in the short term. I've seen it. I've seen it in teams I've coached. I've seen it in teams I've played on. In the short term, when you lose a star to injury, when you lose talented players in the short term, the rest of the team can come together, elevate their play, and give great performances. Long term, when you're talking about, a season or what have you, most likely not. But when you're talking about a game or a couple of games, very much possible. So we'll see. We'll see what USC can do. I wish them well. I wish Juju a speedy recovery. I'm going to leave it there. Let me know your thoughts on all this in the comments below. Appreciate you as always. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will talk to you later.